What is up? Thank you for coming to my channel, Prison POV. Shout out to my joiners. Shout out to the Point of View crew. Today we have another case out of Bakersfield that I could definitely shed some light on. It's a sad case, man. Sad case. In July of 2004, 4 females kicked, beat, burned with cigarettes, yanked chunks of hair out of 17-year-old Amanda Zubio. Now their motive sounds so far-fetched and weak to my ears, I'm not going to repeat it here. It's likely they were just jealous, or is this a straight-up senseless crime? Now the strangest part to me out of this whole thing that happened, other than of course the sadness, the death of Amanda Zubio, but the oddest thing is that during this attack, there's a young boy. They don't say how young the boy is, 9, 10, 11, 12. A young boy taking pictures of this attack with a disposable camera. And sometime, while all this is going on, the young boy's mother, Sandra, comes and picks him up. And it's her initial statement that's able to point out some of the perpetrators who were there at the time of this crime. Now, on the second day of this, yes, it was a 2-dayer. How sad, man. On the second day of this whole incident taking place, this guy, Robert Vallejo, shows up. And he tells the 4 females that are doing this to Amanda Zubio that they better just go ahead and eliminate her. Otherwise, she's going to take this to the police. And then they proceed to stuff her still alive body into a suitcase. And then one of the females and that dude, Robert, put her in a vehicle and drive off. Later, Amanda is discovered on the east side of Bakersfield in a garage in a barrel full of cement. One of the neighbors detected a foul odor, called the authorities. They came out. Now, Robert Vallejo died in jail. And here's where I can shed the light, because I was there for that. Now, this all took place, like I said, in July 2004. I, myself, got busted July 2004. I'm getting worked up now. This story always works me up. But I'm not going to go into too much detail in the story because I've told it so much. But July 2004, I got busted for a stabbing. So I was in county jail when all this was going on. I was in D2, pre-trial. Now, we were on lockdown. I can't remember exactly why, but I'm pretty sure I have a good idea why we're on lockdown. And the deal is this. When you're in D2, pre-trial, you have D1 over here and D3 over here. You can communicate with both pods through the cracks in the doors, either by sending kites under or, hey, give them verbals, and there's lots of communication, nonstop, all day long. And usually the cops don't have any patience for it. They'll put up with it for a short time, then they'll lock everybody down for 2 days, or they'll take the phones or do whatever. People are always on the doors. Just so happened, got locked down for 2 days. I'm celled up with my homeboy from my neighborhood, Chuck. We had a big old batch of wine going that we'd inherited. Someone was cooking it. They left the Wasco kind of unexpectedly, shot it to us. We were happy to receive it. It was my same homeboy Chuck that later put a green light on me a couple of years later because I didn't send weed into the county jail in a timely fashion. I was released from county jail like on a Wednesday, and I didn't send it in that visiting day. So Thursday, Friday, like 2 days later, I didn't have it all ready to go in. And then someone saw me smoking a joint. That was the kicker. Like, obviously, you had weed to send in. I had a joint someone gave me. I didn't have your package ready. Like, did you want the joint I had? Green light on me. I ended up having to fight on the streets. Crazy. So, the good old homeboy Chuck. Thanks, Chuck. But this time, things are cool. They're cool now. Anyways, we're in that cell. We got this wine. We're on a lockdown. They bring that dude in to D2, my pod. That old Robert Vallejo guy. The dude that was involved in that. They got him right smack dab on the front page of the paper. Now, how they do it in Kern County Jail, every single pod, every single dorm, every single gathering inmates, I don't care if it's in pre-trial, male minimum, max mean, everybody gets a newspaper. They must drop off 500 newspapers every day. Good looking out. So this dude, Robert Vallejo, the whole crime with Amanda Zubio's on the front page of the paper, and they got that dude's face. They throw the newspaper in there. We're on lockdown. He's in one of those cells, locked down. But D1 and D3 are not on lockdown. They get the newspaper and they recognize him. Because even though we're on lockdown, inmates are coming and serving us our food. And anytime there's someone new pops up, everyone knows about it and knows who it is. His name gets circulated. And no one slips through the cracks. No one shows up. It's like, oh, how long has he been here? No, they know when you get there. They know why you're there. And they know who you are. So instantly they saw his name in the paper. Like, get that fool. We're on lockdown, no, D2 is locked down. So D1 and D3 are sending kites under the door and giving us verbals. D2, we got a verbal. They want someone to come to the door and say, what's up? Get them, they want to say. No one's coming to the door because they're on lockdown. They're sending those kites under. They're saying, get that ass. Now, those are hot kites. We're having to fish those in. You don't want a cop to stumble on those. It's a hit. You don't want a cop. Maybe if a cop sees a kite, they'll pick it up. You got to prevent that from happening, especially these kites that are saying, get them. So we're fishing these kites in, and we're telling them, hey, we're on lockdown. Chill out. Chill out. As soon as we got off lockdown, it got handled. Now, I read an article when I was doing research for this case that said that this Robert Vallejo talked to his dad on the phone, and an hour later, his attack took place. No, I disagree with that. It's not how I remember it all. He did not talk to anybody on the phone because they're on lockdown. He had no action at the phone. And they're not going to let him use the phone when he gets off lockdown because he's already greenlit. He already has that issue coming. They're going to get him. And when someone's greenlit, they got an issue coming, you do it immediately. You don't let them use their phone. You can't risk them slipping out. Because if they get away and they have an issue coming, they has to follow somebody for letting that fool who should have got broke off slip under the cracks and get away. They're not going to allow that to happen. No phone calls for him, no nothing. He didn't even leave the cell. Doors open and they were in there. 2 went in. There were more waiting outside there in the line. So they're in the and it was loud too. Then they left and 2 more went in. Then those 2 came out, 2 more went in. It was like endless cycle. Kind of smart. You don't want to go in all 10. You'll just end up bumping into each other. And yet all 10, I'm just picking the number 10 out of the air. It could have been 8 of them. It could have been, I don't know exactly how many. It could have been 11. Whatever. They're not going to all go in at once. They're just bumping into each other, going 2 at a time. Be that as it may. Me, it's none of my business. I can't be I can't be paying any attention to it. I'm a nosy wood, though. I'm a nosy individual. I like to know what's going on. I wanted to look. It sure sounded brutal. I'd just be playing cards. I like nothing's going on in the day room while that's happening. In my peripheral, I'm getting like a little bit, asking dude across me, what's going on? What's going on? It's not the most I could do. That I heard about later, and I'll get to that too. Anyways, we got locked down for lunch. I believe that's when he was discovered, and now we're really on some serious lockdown. And that's when they implemented the rolling lockdown in D-Pod. Because at that time, D-Pod would open up at 3 a.m. like all the pods do in Kern County Jail. It shut down later that night at 8 o'clock. But after this happened, they would do rolling lockouts. 4 cells out at a time for 5 hours. They didn't want everybody out at once. Plus some big riots happened. So, that fool got. Me and Chuck went in the cell. We're on a long lockdown after that. Drunk that wine. In fact, we drank it a little bit too soon. I told him it wasn't ready. You could literally see it bubbling. I was like, dude, it's not ready. And then I hate that because you drink wine, it's not ready, and it gets in your gut, it bubbles in your gut. It's foul. So anyways, this dude's dead now. Guess what happened? That gave the 4 females, his co-defendants, the opportunity to put it off on him. Dang it, cottonmouth. Put it off on him. Say he did everything. After all, he is the one that put her in the suitcase and drove away with her. He is the one that said she had to be eliminated when it came by on that second day. And he's not around to deny it and stick up for himself. They're trying to put it all up on him. So, and to make matters worse, while the case was being prepared, the mother and the boy who took those pictures, I just find that crazy. The mother with the young boy who took those pictures split, disappeared, left town. Didn't want no part of it. I mean, she stumbled into a huge case and she had no intention of getting on the stand. Any kind of witness, none of that. She disappeared. And my name's Paul. That's between y'all. My name's Bennett. I ain't in it. I'm out of here. Now, she was a crucial part. Her testimony was very crucial because she was the only non-participant that was there and was able to have eyes on the whole thing went down with Amanda's imprisonment. Only non-accomplice who was present. So I should have worded it. So, but Kern County still got that conviction. They did. Kern County has a 98% conviction rate, maybe 99%. It doesn't matter if the star witness ran away. They'll get that conviction. They'll get that ass. And here's what happened. 2 of those, because there's 4 females now, 2 of them got a life sentence. One of them, who was a juvenile and was deemed less culpable, is that the word? Less culpable and a juvenile, they allowed her to plead to as a juvenile still. And so she got a juvenile life sentence, which is to go to the youth authority till the age 25. They could have, if you're 17 and committed murder, they can charge you as an adult and give you an adult life sentence, 25 to life. But they allowed her plead as a youth offender. She got out from CYA at 25. And yet the 4th one only got 7 years because she did not show up on that second day. Only there on the first day. And of course, the dude died in Kern County Jail. Now, let me say this. I know one of the dudes who went in there and killed that guy. I talked to him after all of it happened. He got 10 years for it. I knew him before he got the 10 years, and I talked to him afterwards. He's a good friend of mine. How he became such a good friend of mine, because I'm getting ready to go do my first violation. I'm at Wasco Reception. What it is, when you're at reception, they give you a transpack bag. They transpack me on a Friday. They call you up, they put all your property into a bag, and it says what prison they're going to send you to, what main line. They're sending me to Mule Creek. Never even heard of it. I'm from down south. Mule Creek's way up north. Wasco doesn't usually do that. They'll send you around south somewhere. But I was an add-on. Sometimes they do stuff like that. Boom, shot me way the heck up to Mule Creek. Out of the 200 people in H1, the dorm I was in at that time, no one had heard Mule Creek, had not been to it. And you want information about where you're going. You want to be able to ask people, what's it like? What's the program like? What do they do? And I just found one dude out of 200, the south sider from Wasco, who'd been there. So him and I hung out all weekend. He put me up on game. He told me how the program was run there, what it was like. And also, I'd never been around North Daniels. I'm from Kern County Jail. They put North Daniels in F-Pod. I'd never been to F-Pod. And then I did my first term at McFarland CCF. There was one North Daniel from San Jose. Ended up getting into a riot with the Bulldogs. I've not been around North Daniels. Mule Creek's going to be all North Daniels. He's put me up on game. He's saying, no, they're cool. Tell me their politics a little bit. Tell me about Mule Creek. He ended up getting busted for that. Because what it was when Kern County went and took that dead body out of that cell, and they took it to the morgue or whatever, they started scraping it for DNA. Of course they did. And homeboy had spit on him. I think quite a few of the dudes did. They're just beating on him, and they're spitting. The hairs are falling off. They got busted because of DNA. Homeboy spit on him. He ended up getting 10 years for it. Can you imagine that? Getting some Q-tip and getting your DNA off a dead body, just spit on him. Got 10 years for it. Seen him when he got out. So, I can add this in too. I can say that one of those 4 females who got the life sentence passed away at 46, 47 years old. Natural causes. And I touched on this a little bit in my last video. How crazy is that to die of natural causes at 46, 47 years old? It doesn't happen. At 50 years old, that's not natural causes. Us as humans, healthy, we should live to be 80. I mean, if you don't have no crazy ass, cancer or nothing, just don't bombard you, but just like a natural life expectancy. I mean, come on, 70? What do you think? I mean, tell me somebody. 47, is that young for a natural cause? I think it is, but not. But wait a minute now, not doing life in prison. No, I think it'll affect you. I think that sounds about right. Because you're in prison, and it's out of sight, out of mind. You're not receiving love from your family. At first, you're going to get those cards on Christmas, especially if you do a crazy crime like that. Your family probably cut your physick off. If they're rocking with your family, it's only going to be a couple years. You're going to get the Christmas cards. Then after that, they're just going to forget about you. No love from them. You're not getting no love from any of the inmates. I mean, it's a fake love. So, be that as it may, there's no joy or happiness inside there. How can you be full of joy or happiness when you're doing 25 in life? So if you're not happy, I can make other people happy. If you don't love yourself, I can love anybody. It's misery in there. Misery loves company. It's sadness. It's madness. And you're doing life in there, and everything's gray and drab and dull and itchy and bitchy and just, ugh. No. Don't want to be in there, man. Yikes. It'll take you out, bro. I think it'll cause you to die of natural causes at 46, 47. Just like my homeboy, rest in peace. Died at 50 years old. He was all stressed out in there. I did time with him at Corcoran, and this dude was hitting so much weed, bringing so much weed in, but he was always in debt because he was on that H real bad. And I would just marvel at the fact that he had so much income with the marijuana, making so much money off it, had all kinds of, but yet didn't have a soup. And he was in debt, but he was high on heroin all the time. And it's just, bro, Robert from Peter to pay Paul, and bro, no good for no one. I would not want to be in that position. Didn't look fun at all. He's always stressed out. Then he ends up getting caught with a clavo. They put him on potty watch. If you get caught with a clavo in there, they'll throw you in a room that don't have a toilet, and they'll just keep you in there waiting for it to come out. I don't care if it takes 3 days. Potty watch. We'll see what you have. They fed him dinner. They fed him burritos. I mean, he went ahead and took the claw out, stuffed in a burrito. I don't know how he thought that would work. Kicked the tray out like, no, I'm not really hungry for burritos tonight. I'm good. Of course, they're going to rip it apart and say, Clavo! Of course, he's going to say, I don't know anything about it. He's stressed out. He's in the hole, and he ends up dying. Natural causes, they say. 50 years old. I say no. I say he's a stressed out lifer. And has killed him from the inside out. What's crazy is he was one of the first dudes in Kern County to get 3 strikes. And so, about 2-3 years after he passed away, they start letting a lot of those 3 strikers out. Because they abused that law. They did a lot of people dirty. 3 strikes supposed to work like this. Your third violent felony. You get busted for carjacking. You get out. You get busted for a burglary and you get out. And then you get busted for an armed robbery. That's a third violent felony. 3 strikes, you're out. You're getting a life sentence. But no, it's like they did it like, okay, armed robbery, you get out. Burglary, get out. Steal a fishing pole, life sentence. 3 strikes for that fishing pole. Any kind of, you guys heard the story. Someone steals a pizza, he gets a life sentence. He has a dime bag of weed and life sentence. They just really abused it. Gave a bunch of dudes life sentence for nothing. And this is one of them. He's one of the first dudes in Kern County. He's had a little 20 bag of speed he got caught with. A little tiny, this much speed, he got life over it. They caught him with it. Tried to give him 4 years. He's like, I don't want 4 years. I want a drug program. No, you're not getting a drug program. You get this 4 years. No, drug program. And they said, okay, check this out. We're just going to give you 25 to life. Take this life sentence on the chin. Take this motherfucking life sentence right on the chin, broski. And so he's in there doing life, hating it, man. And then when he dies, they start letting those fools out. So I do believe a life sentence will cause you to die hella early. Hell yeah, it will. It's miserable in there. Glad I will never have to. Glad I never did. No crazy caught up. Ain't for me, bro. I ain't built that way. I'm not built for life sentence, bro. Physic, all that. I need to be out here. I need to be free. Be that as it may, I got another video coming out tomorrow. I apologize. This one is kind of not as long as I like it to be. And it's a little bit later in the day than I like it to be. But man, just some stuff happened. It's just like, you know what it is? I've been staying up really late last couple nights. 1 a.m. Stay up late. Just caught up with me today. And I just fell victim to a big nap. And nap attacked me. And I was not able to really fight back. And it's like, okay, nap, you won. I'll be the victim to the nap. And dude, lights out. Like, sometimes you just got to kick it, bro. And it is what it is. Little Manner's over there chilling. I mean, all she does is nap. And I want to be like her. We just kick back and chillax. But, hey, another video tomorrow. Got a bomb-ass video. Another big case of Kern County. I know this dude personally. Kind of snarf. I'm bummed out because I can't really find an image. Did you hear that whistle? It was snarf like a whistle. I can't find an image. I need to do an image for the thumbnail. I'm searching. So I don't know what's going on with it. But anyway, I'm going to cut the string and let it fly. Tomorrow, though, no, never mind. I'm going to cut the string and let it fly. Peace.